Let's start with study of finite automata. Finite automata has two main types, DFA, deterministic finite automata, and NFA, non-deterministic finite automata. NFA has a one special type, epsilon NFA, NFA with epsilon transitions. So we will start with deterministic finite automata or DFA. Now DFA is 5 tuple Q sigma delta Q0 F. Now DFA can be represented using any of these three formats: 5 tuple, state diagram, transition table. These are three different representations of the same DFA. Now Q is non-empty finite set of states. So here A, B, C, these are the states of DFA. The next one is input alphabet. Now DFA processes a string and that string should be designed over the given input alphabet. So here alphabet contains 0 and 1. Here each state handles transitions for 0 and 1. The next one is delta. So delta is Q cross sigma goes to Q. If DFA is in a state and reads a symbol, it will go to a next state. The next one is Q0. So when DFA processes a string, it should start with some state. That state is Q0, which is initial state or start state. In a DFA, Q0 is unique. In this DFA, A is initial state. It is indicated using this arrow. The next is F, which is set of final states. When DFA processes a string, if the processing ends in a final state, the string is accepted. If the processing ends in a non-final state, the string is rejected. We are going to see these things in detail when we study examples of DFA. So here final state is indicated using double circle. C is the only final state. So important thing is that set of states is finite, Q is finite. Also set of final states is subset of Q. Now let's take a look at three different representations. This is 5 tuple representation. Q is A, B and C. There are three states in the DFA. Input alphabet contains 0 and 1. These are the transitions. This is set of transitions or transition function. So let's take one transition, delta A1 equal to B. So if the DFA is in state A and input is 1, it will go to B. If the DFA is in A and input is 1, it will go to B. So A is initial state and the set of final state contains only C. Let's take a look at state diagram. A, B and C, these are states. They are indicated using circles. Input alphabet contains 0 and 1. Each state handles transitions of 0 and 1. Now for transition function, these arrows, they indicate the transitions and all the transitions together will be transition function of this DFA. So if the DFA is in state B, if it reads 0, it goes to C. While in B, if it reads 1, it will go to A. And for final states, final state is indicated using double circle. So here C is the final state. Initial state is indicated using this arrow. All other transitions, they have previous state and next state. This arrow which indicates initial state, it does not have any previous state because it indicates initial state. This is transition table. So A, B, C, these are states. Input alphabet contains 0 and 1 and the transitions are represented using table format. So B, if it reads 0, the DFA will go to C. DFA while in B, if reads 1, it will go to A. B on 0 goes to C, B on 1 goes to A. So it is represented in table format. Q0 initial state is indicated using this arrow and final state is indicated using star. C is the only final state. So these are three different representations of the same DFA. In exam, they can use any of these formats for asking the question. You should be comfortable with all of the formats of the DFA. Do not ignore the notes. You will understand some points easily and clearly if you go through the notes. Now let's see why it is called deterministic finite automata. So deterministic because while in any state, if it reads a symbol, there is unique next state. If you see this table, each entry contains only one state. In case of DFA, this entry cannot be empty. This entry cannot have multiple state. So if DFA is in a state and reads a symbol, it exactly knows what is the next state. There is no non-determinism. There cannot be multiple states. Also, this entry cannot be empty. So when we draw the transition diagram or state diagram, first thing we have to handle every symbol at each state. So here A handles 0 and 1, B handles 0 and 1, C handles 0 and 1. This is very important when you design a DFA. Each state should handle each input symbol. Also, there should be only one outgoing transition for each symbol. The number of transitions for a symbol for a state, it cannot be 0, it cannot be more than 1, it should be exactly 1. So let's take state B. It has exactly one outgoing transition for 1. It has exactly one outgoing transition for 0. So B exactly knows what will be the next state if 0 comes. There is no non-determinism. It is deterministic automata. Now why it is called finite automata? Now the main reason is that this set Q, it is finite set. It cannot be infinite set. It is finite set. So these states, while processing the input, they act as memory elements. So DFA can hold only finite information or bounded information while processing the input. Also, DFA or any finite automata, it does not have any external memory element. When we will study PDA, we will see that PDA has a stack and stack can grow as much as possible while processing a string. When we will study Turing machine, we will see that Turing machine has tapes and the tapes also can grow as much as required while processing the input. But finite automata does not have any external memory element. It has finite number of states which can hold finite or bounded information. So this is finite automata. It is deterministic. That's why it is called deterministic finite automata.